welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are still in Bacciapello, or whatever it was called. Bacciapello. And we just helped Wuk Lamat get the saddle for her to catch the wild alpaca, which she has to do alone. Let's tell them the good news. It looks like everyone's been pitching in with the alpacas. You've been away for some time. I assume trading was productive. I made the mistake of startling one and caught a global spittle for my travel. I'm beginning to understand Wuk Lamat's aversion to the animals. Tabby and Aaron have been teaching us how to care for alpacas. One gentle girl ate the feet straight from my hand. You've acquired the saddle one. Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. Now I know, this is something I need to learn. Great sunken gods, I did it! He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Wuk Lamat's touch. That is because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I never taken a good look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. You're only now noticing that? The wild Ja, he's back. Having done exactly what he was set out to do. With the alpaca he brought, is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tale of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its batters, faced with overwhelming strength it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Wuk Lamat. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Tual can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Toliola all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth they bask in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as a tragedy but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much needed lessons in the reality of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. 'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawns, and the ruins it left behind. The Gallian Empire was a congregation of simpletons. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Gulu Jaja did not elevate the Mamuja, where he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Toliolal, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done indeed. The first promise has completed a feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone? He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Quana. It's like we're not even family. I could never agree with Zoalja. I want Tuliola to be a land of peace, now and always. So much of our stars began to embrace reconciliation and rebuild, and this would-be warlord would thrust us all back into turmoil. We cannot allow it to happen. Zoalja is willing to go to war for his twisted vision of peace? But should he achieve his peace, then what? What kind of idiot thinks our world can be united with war? Even most Gallians have since realized that their conquests were a mistake. A golden alpaca in the flesh, like the golden city I fought from a children's tale. I'll ponder Zoalja and his mysteries later. Right now I need to think about finishing a feat of gold. I have my saddle, I've practiced how to use it, so I'll lead on to where the wild alpaca's roam. The rally of Kanka is northwest of here. Come on everyone, even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Wuk Lamat off on a hunt. You might think catching an alpaca a trivial thing, but we shall see. As I said, there's a reason I chose it for my feet. How deep do you think the valley is? I glanced over the edge on the way here, but the mist was too thick to even speculate. Zoalja may have caught this alpaca first, but it doesn't mean Wuk Lamat is out of the running. She can do this. Kanka is a steep and treacherous place, so only those with a head ledger's blessings are permitted to go there. Mablu's right. The least you can do is let Wuk Lamat know we're cheering for her. I've never set foot beyond this point. The valley is said to be home to fiends far more ferocious than spitting alpacas. I can do this. I know I can. Geo.
Good luck there, Promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Wuk Lamat is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
So we're camping here.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shaitana from Shak Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlayan. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking. And I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the rite of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
I did it!
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, third promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
We were out here for quite some time, but I'm glad Wuk Lamat was able to catch Alpaca, and everyone choosing to share a story with us was a welcome surprise. Alvin was quick to lend a hand with dismantling the tent. Is this to be his new obsession now that he's mastered collecting firewood? Thanks to Alvin and his healing hands, I can actually stand again. Maybe even walk? I spoke too much. If Wuk Lamat is up to it, we should be heading back to Tobli. Wuk Lamat has no serious injuries to speak of, however, she has clearly been pushed to the very limits of her endurance. I'm so relieved the third promise came back to us safely. And the alpaca she's tamed is a healthy looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feet of gold? Knowing the Pelu Pelu. Wuk Lamat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet, hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic? Make tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. As Mablo so wisely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exhausted third promise. Came back ahead of the Almas, did you? I should hurry along with a tea then. Wuk Lamat can't be that far behind. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished a feat of gold, have you? Yes, there's no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoralja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Gulul Jaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. It was before the founding of Toliolal, in the time of the mountain giants, the Hok Yui held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days to hear grandfather tell it. When along came the young Gulu Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn Servant. Our people were amazed by this imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yok Hugh in stature and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Gulu Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of made tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Glul Jaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelu from the Yok Hugh's subjugation. He then turned an appraising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. And so it was that a few words from Gul'jul Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I never heard the bond Papa forged with a Pelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. Then you may not know that Gul'jul Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat requires no more than that, Fred promised, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablo's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. Five more to go. You're well on your way, Ford promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. It might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Wuk Lamat. You've given the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tobli, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me and I've loved every moment caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide. Yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness he knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobli. What did I tell you, Mablu? There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. And I suggest you talk to the Hokhui, to the Yokhui. They once ruled over far more than just Okopacha and the Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Yogg-Tural and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent, but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yogg have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated? We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if you're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. On that giant mountain. Akrile, I have a question I've been meaning to ask, and since we finished with a feat, where did you acquire that earring? My earring, do you recognize it? Just pieces... Yes, pieces like it first became fashionable in Yogg-Tural around 20 years ago. Since then it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travels. 20 years ago? Right about the time my grandfather made his journey. If Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way, surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much, thank you. Jumping feet first into the peddler business, huh, Mablu? Right then, that's 2 keystones down. I say we head back to Toliola and plan our next move. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. She is a fearsome opponent, that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zoalja's supporters talk. They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions. But they find the man himself intimidating. Terrifying even. Whereas I've grown to love Wuk Lamat, everyone she meets will come to love her too. And that's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. I never dared hope we would find a lead for this earring mystery so quickly. I expected as much from the moment I saw him, but winning the contest against Zoalja will not be easy. The Yogg once ruled the entirety of Yogg-Tural. I'm curious to see what has become of him. That makes 2 out of 7 keystones, so far so good. It feels good to have a feat of gold safely under our belt. Even the victory pales beside Zoalja and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, and gods know you've all been so supportive. But I want to be strong, or wise, like my brothers. To be a promise that people respect. Which is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Let's move on. Back to Gibraltar. With us, the contest has hardly begun. The Pelu reminded me of Lalafell, never letting their size slow them down or hold them back. They move at their own pace in making their textiles and mezcal and raise alpacas to bear them to market. Idle music aside, we've made a good start on these challenges. Hopefully we can keep it up. Nwakwana nor Bakul Jaja appeared to be in Bachung. I imagine they're around somewhere, making progress even as we are. Yet in a contest like this one, it's only a matter of time until the claimants are pitted against each other in direct competition. I heard there are hot springs in Ukopasha. Mayhap, time permitting. I have not forgotten our obligations to Wuk Lamat, of course. Having immersed ourselves in the cultures of others, though, my anticipation for the new experiences this adventure will bring us has only grown. A golden alpaca. Alone, I may have tried to track the beast myself. Traveling with so large and diverse a group is unfamiliar to me. If she could see me now. Look at us! The contest has barely begun and we already have 2 keystones. Surely even my talented brothers aren't doing this well. We can only hope. So the single target attack became all upgraded. Good. I think I end the episode here and we'll continue this next time. And then, amaze and don't get lost.